Hello, everybody, and welcome into another episode of Prospect Corner here at the Hockey Writers. I'm your host, as always. I've got Dayton Reimer and Peter Baracchini, as always, with me. We are starting 2027 draft season, if you can believe it. 2026 draft was, it's now been a bit away now, and we're starting our next season. It comes up pretty quick. And it's been a bit since we've got together for an episode. Last one was wrapping up the 2026 draft. Peter, how's it going?
It's going great. Yeah, a bit of a long time since we actually done this and recorded an episode. A bit of a rough couple weeks over here, but everything settled down. So yeah, happy to be back. Happy to be recording and talking prospects because it's been a while.
It has been. And Dayton, how's it going?
Also pretty good. Yeah, been taking the summer a little bit on the slower side, so that's been nice, and getting ready to kind of gear up with things, and no better way to start than with a couple of tournaments here, right?
100%. And we'll start with the one that just wrapped up, and that was the World Junior Summer Showcase. Pretty much an exhibition type tournament. And but you do see a lot of these prospects and what they can do. It's not guaranteed all these guys are going to be on the team because they're pretty big teams that do play in these ones, but you can start seeing some of the standouts that you can start seeing. Oh, they might make the team, be big parts of these teams. And Peter, I'll start with you for standouts from this mini type tournament. There was quite a few that kind of stood out over the week there.
Quite a few, especially from the USA side, where they were pretty dominant, and a lot of these players are looking like they're going to be, marquee names for the tournament come Christmas time. I'm going to keep this short for Team USA because there are a lot of names: Victor Planceta, Wyatt Collin, Brooks Rogowski, but Ethan Whitenbeck. Just absolutely dominated this showcase, and after a really standout season in college with 59 points in 40 games for Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac and the NCAA, 5th round pick in 2025, and he's looking like a real steal for them right now. Just the way that he was driving each play, the way that he was, being involved, taking control at every single point. He was the main catalyst for Team USA with 10 goals and 16 points. So there are a lot of standout names for this team, but I think Whitenbeck is going to be one of those guys who really keep an eye for Team USA. Looking at other teams too, I really love Theo Stockselius. I was a big fan of him in his draft year. Again, I believe another Calgary Flames prospect. So I'm already giving a shout out to two Calgary Flames prospects right now. So that's always a good thing. Really thought he was really dominant for Sweden. Really liked the way that he was starting to elevate his play and his role within the lineup as well. So hopefully he can be a real difference maker there. And for Canada, I'm going early on with the 2027 draft and Dima Jokin. I'm a firm believer right now. And I know this is early. This is a showcase. It's an exhibition game or exhibition games for that matter. But I think he has a really good chance right now to make the team. And I think he can make a lot of surprises, not just because of, I really like his instincts, his ability, his tenacity to just get in on the forecheck, really make a mess and pressure defenders very, very well. I really think that he's not only just going to be a catalyst for Team Canada. I would have thought that maybe he would have been a big part of this Hlinka Gretzky team, but he was at this showcase as well, showing that he's going to be playing more of an important role and at a higher level compared to the other players in this tournament, which we'll talk about later. But I really think that not only is he going to be a big part for Canada, but also for his draft stock. And I think right now it's really early, but I see him as a top 5 player right now, just based on the work ethic, the skill, and the ability to play a factor in tight and get into the dirty areas that teams love. So to me, those are some of those 3 players that really stood out and really, made a mark in terms of their draft stock, but also their stock as a prospect as well.
For sure. These are things that you can get. You may not make the team, but you do get your name out there for these not just for your nation, but scouts and start kind of, like you say, with their draft stock very early. But anything helps for sure. All right, Dayton. Now, what about you for this summer showcase? So, who'd you see?
I think probably pretty similar to Peter, but I really like what the Swedes were bringing. A team that won all 3 of their games, and you had maybe not as high scoring as the Americans, but players like Philip Ekberg and Victor Kingsell. Like this team still looks very scary, which I think is a very good sign heading into some of the big tournaments. We got the Hlinka Gretzky coming up. We've got the World Juniors. Yeah, these are the apparently the ones to beat, right?
Yeah.
A couple of Canadians, of course, Dima Zhilkin. I really liked him the last time I watched him, and he still looks really good. Cole Reshny also looks very good. Unfortunately, Canada didn't have the strongest showing. But, you know, maybe as Canadian hockey fans, we're a little bit used to that at the moment, unfortunately. So we're not disappointed. We're just, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But it should get better moving forward. It looks like there's a lot of talent on that team. And as they work together and try to get some momentum building here, I think this is a great start to what could be coming at the World Juniors.
I mean, the Canucks had a couple. Braden Coots and Caleb Malholtra were both. I mean, they were prominent. I did hear some kind of good things about them, but I mean, one thing about Coots is he, it's an exhibition game, but he was very embarrassed about losing to the Americans there, and I know it's an exhibition, but we can't be like this. We can't play like this, even in an exhibition game. So, I mean, that's good for a character leadership part for Coots, and we all know he is that type of player and has that, and he could be in the NHL this season. He might not even be going to the World Juniors, but I think for the Canucks, I think they should send him, even if he is playing a good role. The Canucks are rebuilding; they're not going to need him. They can obviously give him up for a couple weeks for him to have that experience at the World Juniors. I think he'll be there, even if he does make the team out of training camp, which a lot of people are kind of expecting. But in my opinion, and we'll talk about obviously the NHL teams later on, but just quickly, I think it's good for him to play in the AHL this season, which, I mean, of course, the 19-year-old can play this year. So I'm thinking he'll be there, and I think that's a good thing for him, and go to the World Juniors. There's no rush in his development to be what he's going to anticipate it to be. And Caleb Malholtra, of course, he's going to the NCAA. And he'll be, I think, a big part of Team Canada as well. So I think they had their moments in the summer showcase, and I think they're both going to be parts of Team Canada this year as well. All right, let's move to the Hlinka Gretzky, which kicked off as we're recording. There are actually some games going on right now. Team Canada is playing. So I'll start with you, Dayton. Who are you watching in the Hlinka Gretzky this year?
A lot. There's going to be a lot of guys to keep an eye on. I'll start with a few Canadians. You got to start with Landon DuPont. He is going to be the name to watch for the draft cycle this season. He is projected to be the top pick. I have heard some debate on whether a few other names could push it or push him out of that spot, but kind of in the same realm as McKenna, I would say, in that it's his to lose, and it's going to take a pretty impressive performance from someone else to push him out of that. And he's returning to the tournament as the captain. He's also getting ready to go to college this season. I believe University of Michigan. So going to be a huge season for him. Definitely one to keep an eye on. And then the potential first pick of the 2028 draft, Maddox Schultz. He'll be there as the assistant captain. I'm very interested to see what he has to bring. Very good rookie season with the Regina Pats. Even though he was only playing half the season, like he's something special. Would really like to see kind of how he handles some of the tougher competition, some of the best players in the world at this time, at least for his age group. And then one more I will mention, who I think I've been a big fan of for a while, Jonah Neuenschwander. over in Switzerland. I love it when a smaller country has a big name player. I was a big fan of Nico Hischier when he was coming up. And now we have sort of the heir to the throne, as you could say, with Neuenschwander. Great size. He had a great impact at the World Juniors, was one of, I would say, Switzerland's better players, despite being one of the youngest players there, of anyone, not just on Switzerland. Yeah, he's going to be a very intriguing prospect. I think he's up for the draft this year.
Yes.
So, yeah, I would be surprised if he fell out of the top 5 at this time, but we'll have to see. This could be a big kind of decision on where he ends up falling.
Yeah, it's he was very, like you say, we're very impressive at World Juniors, which, I mean, of course, is a higher end tournament. So we'll see what he does at the Hlinka Gretzky for sure. Peter, what about you for this tournament? I mean, yeah, like you say, there's a lot of guys playing. Who are you watching?
I'm trying to go back and forth and keep an eye on because I'm watching this game. And lo and behold, Jonah Neuschwander with an absolute snipe on the power play right there. So improving his status as well, but also Switzerland up 2-1 against Canada. So, really, really interesting game right now. Canada needs to get it back together. But focusing on everyone else. Actually, I do want to focus on the goal scorer for Canada, Brock Englund. Smaller side player, but this is a guy that has wheels. Kind of similar to Mathis Presson last season, but I feel like he has a little bit more skill, a little bit more upside, a little bit more of a well-rounded two-way game because of his ability to play center, work on both sides of the puck as well. But he could flat out fly. I mean, he could quickly transition very, very well when he has control. He can get to the spots very easily. And, you know, he's a equal parts goal scorer and playmaker, but I feel like that goal scoring can help elevate him up a little bit more. Looking at Sweden, Dorian Eklund Asp, I feel like this is a name that should be getting a little bit talked a little about more right now in terms of notoriety. Obviously, a lot of eyes are going to be on Milan Sundstrom as the top Swede, but I feel like Eklund Asp has a lot of power, a lot of strength, the ability to force turnovers and get that inside edge on defenders as well. I feel like he could be a real problem for a lot of defenders, and I feel like he's going to have a big tournament along with Sundstrom as well. And for Czechia, usually I don't talk about a lot of the like smaller players, but Lucas Kachler already scored twice against Team USA today. Felt like he was going to be the driving force for Czechia in this tournament. Lo and behold, he's already got off to an early start right now. So trying to keep an eye on a lot of other defenders because I've seen a lot of guys like Levi Harper and a bunch of other guys, but Kachler is definitely catching my eye early on right now. And we'll see where he ends up in the tournament because he's already also a hot start offensively. Really great skater, great in transition, can work the offensive zone very well, gets into those shooting lanes very well as well. So those are 3 names that are really on my radar, but again, a lot of names, and it's just like too many to keep track of early on right now. So, definitely going to be a fun tournament. It's already an exciting one right now with a lot of not necessarily unpredictability, but there have been a lot of close calls right now. So we'll see what happens in this tournament. But those 3 guys, I'm really keeping an eye on.
Yeah, like I say, there's so much, and of course, this is the earliest tournament for these guys over the 2027 draft, and like you mentioned, the 2028 draft eligible as well, which and you do see those quite a bit.
A little bit of a note: Liam Pugh also scored right now. It's now 3-2 Canada, so keeping a little bit of a live tracker right now with some of the 2027 and 2028 names right now.
Take a look at that the tournament because it is on TSN, I believe, to watch that. And take a look. It is, like I say, the first one for these guys to get some eyes on for these guys, and first of many more stuff that's going to come in the season that will start in September. And we'll, of course, keep track of all these guys and do our normal stuff. Quick turnaround from the 2026 draft to the 2027 draft. But we'll get going on that and look forward to that stuff. Peter, you've got an article out for players to watch more than what you mentioned there. So take a look at that. That came out today as we're recording. So check that out, thehockeyriders.com. And, of course, lots more coverage to come for the draft and the 2027 draft coming up. So thanks, Peter. Thanks, Dayton, for coming on. As always, talking prospects. We'll, of course, have a few, maybe not as regular as we usually do, but we do have a lot of episodes to come. I think the biggest one this month will be our top 100 prospects, which will get updated by Logan as always. We will go through that list, and lots of big name prospects that'll be added to that one as well. Gavin McKenna is probably going to be one of the top ones on it. And so we'll look at that. But yeah, check out everything on the site. But until our next episode, we will see you next time.